And welcome back to This Week in Pennsylvania. We have a Pennsylvania welcome to a wonderful couple from Houston, Texas. John and Laura Arnold, Arnold Ventures, you're philanthropists. But while most philanthropists give money to causes and perhaps to hospitals, you want government policy. John, explain how that works.
Right, we're really focused on two main areas. Number one is, how do you lower the cost of living for Americans? And second is, how do you make effective and efficient government? And on the first stream is really why we're here today, and how we've been working across the nation and in D.C., which is, how do we get permitting and siting reform so that we can unlock the enormous potential that communities and states like Pennsylvania have, and really translate all those resources to real economic prosperity and better quality of life.
You're the first person who has given away nearly $5 billion to be a guest on our show. So let me just say, for the entire nation, thank you both for that. That's very generous of you. Laura, what are you seeing of Pennsylvania? Why here? You got 50 states you could choose from.
Well, we do work across the country in most states, but Pennsylvania really is special in this regard. You have an enormous momentum of bipartisanship. You have a leadership in both the House and the Senate that are very deeply interested in these issues of infrastructure. You have a Chamber of Commerce that is leading the way with an agenda that is focused on prosperity for citizens. You have a governor who has that commitment. So we like to look to places where we see the potential for effective bipartisan cooperation on issues that really can impact the prosperity of Americans and of people in Pennsylvania. So this is a very natural place for us to be.
Has anybody mentioned to you that we're 3 months without a state budget at the moment?
We did notice that. We have been, we have spent the day on at the Capitol speaking with legislators. We spoke with legislators on both sides of the aisle, and we did notice that. And that is a palpable issue, but we also noticed an enormous amount of consensus on the core issues that drive this agenda. So once you will overcome this budget issue.
Yes.
There's absolutely no question. And when you do, we are here to talk about the infrastructure issues and the permitting issues and the energy issues that are going to lead to prosperity.
And we also have Luke Bernstein with us, President, CEO of the Pennsylvania Chamber of Business and Industry. How important is it? Now, they're preaching your choir. This is exactly what you've been talking about for years. How important is it to have a couple like this coming into Pennsylvania with the message they have?
Well, it's critically important. And one thing I think you're seeing from them firsthand is they care deeply about the future of America. And if we're going to compete globally, we have to compete here in America, and what a better place to do that than Pennsylvania. And so they understand the importance of this state, the energy resource we have here, and if we can fix our permitting process, we can lead in the country, we can lead globally. And two people that have dedicated so much of their life to making America better, stronger, more economically viable, it's incredible for us in Pennsylvania to have partners like this that understand how important a strong economy is to the future of our country.
John, what's the biggest challenge you're seeing as you try to do this? I mean, you just have to look at the headlines each and every day to see we're in a pretty partisan place as a nation.
And I think that's the biggest challenge, is that we have two parties that just want to fight, right? And
by the way, as we tape this, the federal government shut down today.
It did, so they're not even fighting. They got sent home. Right? But I think the question is, after the fighting is done, can the two sides come together? And, there's narrow agendas in which there's overlap today, for sure. But when we go to D.C. and talk to members of Congress, the one thing we hear consistently is that there's consensus on permitting and siting reform at the federal level. Now, part of the issue is federal, but part of it's state, part of it's local, right? And so we have to do all three of those. And so that's what we're enthusiastic about, is that, there will come a day when the two sides stop fighting a little bit enough just to think about how to improve lives, and that's where it comes in.
Laura, last question. How will we know that you guys have made an impact in Pennsylvania? What should we be looking for to know that you've made a difference?
You will see greater opportunities for energy generation, for permitting infrastructure, for the ability of these projects to get sited, permitted, to get implemented, which will create jobs and create enormous prosperity for the state.
Well, I want to thank both of you. Go ahead.
Dennis, they've already made an impact, and it's only the beginning. It's the first step in many, many more that's going to make Pennsylvania more competitive. And it's been a huge impact for us having their involvement.
Okay. I want to thank you both. Seriously, thank you for all you've done.
We
appreciate it. Welcome to Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
Thank you. And there is real bipartisanship going on in the state, even though we don't have a budget. I'm going to prove it right after the break.